This chart shows the sudden recalibration of the Philippines' growth. The World Bank recently took its 5.3% growth forecast and slashed it to 3.7%. A geopolitical catalyst in the Middle East is now testing the resilience of that vulnerable majority. Escalating hostilities between the U.S., Israel, and Iran have triggered a direct chain reaction in global energy markets. The Philippines relies on imports for over 90% of its crude oil, making the domestic economy highly sensitive to Middle Eastern disruptions. With global oil threatening to reach $150 a barrel, local fuel pumps are seeing record price jumps. High fuel costs create an immediate inflationary cycle. Transport operators are forced to propose fare hikes, shifting the financial burden onto daily wage earners. This oil shock functions as a regressive tax, draining household savings and stalling national productivity. For decades, the labor export economy has functioned as a financial shield, with 2.4 million overseas Filipino workers currently stationed in the Middle East. These workers remit over $6.48 billion annually from the Gulf region alone. War-driven retrenchments and repatriations are now projected to cause a $1.8 billion loss in these remittances for 2026. This animation shows the currency impact. As the volume of incoming U.S. dollars shrinks, the Philippine peso weakens in response. A weaker peso forces the country to spend more to service foreign debts and import essential goods, depleting national reserves. The negative outlook from credit agencies is tied to domestic institutional issues just as much as global conflict. Investigations into corruption within flood control projects have caused a significant slowdown in public infrastructure spending. Political volatility is also rising, driven by the public rift between the country's top two leaders. Impeachment hearings for the vice president have added a layer of institutional instability. Combining global energy shocks with domestic political friction repels the foreign investment the country needs to bridge its fiscal gap. The Philippines has transitioned into a defensive, shock absorber economy. OFWs must now prioritize emergency savings over luxury remittances. Diversifying skills to find employment outside the Gulf region is becoming an essential safety measure. For those at home, hedging against stagflation is a priority. This involves moving cash into government bonds, dollar-denominated assets, or businesses in essential sectors like food and energy. Surviving the 2026 economic storm requires shifting away from a reliance on national safety nets toward proactive individual financial preparation.